everybody, welcome back to Rain and Pours. I'm Mitch and today I'm going to be doing a set of coasters that I was experimenting with last week, and I wanted to show you what I've done with those and how I'm going to improve on them. So let's get down to the table and we'll get straight into the video. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my 4-inch tiles taped up on the back. I've got videos for how to do all of this on my channel, so you can go check those out. Now the products I'll be using today are from the Sheleeart Bloom technique course. So you can take that course at sheleeart.com.au. It's really helpful if you want to learn how to do blooms. Shelley created the idea, she created the technique, and she's got a course to do that. I'm one of the instructors in the course, so if you'd like to learn how to do everything the same way I do, you can get all of that from the course. And there are so many variations on this technique now that it's impossible to keep up with them all just on YouTube. And this technique is very difficult to learn by yourself just from YouTube. So we always advise doing the course and joining the members only Facebook group. That's where you get the real value out of the course from the literally thousands of people around the world doing this technique now. Okay, so the colors I have mixed up are This Little Piggy Sapphire, deep sapphire blue here. I have This Little Piggy Lakeside, which is a teal with a gold interference in there. I've got This Little Piggy Nightfall, which is a deep purple. Gorgeous color there. I have two chameleon pigments, which I've got from my friend Emma over in the States. This one is a custom mix called Tripoli, which is a purple to orange color shift. And this one is called Northern Lights, which is a green to purple color shift. So I'm going to use the Northern Lights first because that's part of my idea. And we're going to see how that goes. And I've also got some black cell activator here. Now I don't know if I'm going to use the black cell activator, but it's ready, it's handy, and we will just see if I want to use that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is pour out my black paint. Now again, if you want to take the course to learn how to do blooms, that's sheleeart.com.au. And if you'd like to buy any of the Little Piggy pigments that I'm using, that's This Little Piggy, you can get those from fluid-art.co. I'll put the product links to those in the description. Okay, so I just had to play around with the tile and I wasn't happy with the result of that. So we're going to give it another go. I think adding the extra colors in overcomplicated things and it's not the result I wanted. So let's try it just with the sapphire as the background and a hint of the purple. Okay, and we're going to swipe that out. Really swipe out all that color. How would I like to do this swipe on top? I think I will use Cell Activator. That's going to give it some interest. Then I'm going to use the Northern Lights on the spatula. We're going to swipe across the middle. Okay. That's kind of cool. Now I want those cells to take up the sky and then this to be interest in the bottom. So because it is on a transparency, we will see through any gaps that there are in the transparencies. So I'm hoping this will add just a little bit of dimension to it. And that we will actually see that blue and purple in there. We don't want to put anything in our paintings that doesn't have to be there for no reason. So there's no point putting blue down if we're not going to see it in the end. That's just a waste of paint. Now I'm just spinning and checking to make sure that I'm getting enough paint off this. Now we have to remember that these aren't going to look amazing straight off the bat. They're not going to look great straight off the pouring table. Reason being is we've got other things planned for these afterwards. So the overhead transparencies, the resin, the glitter, all that sort of thing. So you can see that green color shift there, and there's the purple. So those colors work really well with the blue and the purple. And I love this piece that's come in there. It almost looks like, in terms of what I'm trying to make, like a cloud through the nebulas come through. So I may need to put, so the glitter resin will go on the bottom layer to stick the transparency down to the tile, and that will look like stars. And then the plain resin will go on top and seal everything in, and that way it's not going to detract from the silhouette. So that's tile number 1, and we'll see how this goes. And if you notice, I'm not using too much of the black pillow because it is quite thin and we don't want too much left on there. I'm going to put the blue. Actually, you know what I will do? I'll put the purple. Then I'm going to put a little drop of the opal medium in the background. Now, it might not look amazing to start with because it's white, but let's just see if it creates an effect that I like. Yes, okay. I think I like that. So like I said, it's white now, but we'll dry clear. Don't worry about it. So it does look like little stars in there, which is perfect. Now I don't like how clumped up it is in the middle, so I'm just going to do a second spiral. There we go, that's better. Okay. And you can go in and touch things up. Don't be scared of that. Okay, now let's go over with the black cell activator and Tripoli. Sorry, this is Northern Lights that I'm going to do. CA. And when I'm putting this on my stir stick, I'm just doing enough to cover the back of it. Okay, obviously adding more colors, you have to do more. And then, let's put it here. Okay. And you always have to remember that you are going to spin some off. Like that. Okay. So scrape the edges so the excess doesn't fly away. And do a spin. Okay. So you all know this process by now. Apply the paint, give a good spin at the start to get rid of the excess paint. Always scrape it up, scrape in between. Now you can do this on your regular turntable. I've got a little box built on that I put there myself. But you can do that just with your normal turntable. And that opal medium is looking awesome just in there as the sky. I may actually even put some on the next one in with the color shift pigment. Now, we want to make sure that the center, especially where I've swiped that background spiral, is not sitting directly in the center in a big mound. So, I don't know if you can see it moving. It's kind of hard to see. But there is a big mound of paint sitting right here. So what I want to do is just move that off center. And by moving it off center and tilting it towards you, when you spin it the next time, it's going to push a lot of that weight out to the edge. When it's in the center, nothing in the middle will move at all. So by off-centering it slightly, you'll increase the chance that it's going to move and flatten out. Okay, there's number 2. Again, beautiful color shift in that pigment. Okay, coaster number 2. Down first. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put down first Golden Peach this time because that took over. Then Ore. Then Horizon. And then Grenache. So I lost a lot of the Grenache last time. And I really want to see that color because I love it. Then, for the swiping, I'm going to try a clear cell activator I've just made up. And I've made this up with some Atelier Heavy Gloss Gel and Floetrol, just like a normal cell activator. And I've done a little blob test on my paper towel, and I got cells. But whether they hold up and whether they dry properly and do everything normally is a different thing. Before I do that, I have to spread out the base. Beautiful. Pop over my paper towel. Okay. I love that. Now, add on cell activator. And my triple E. Interesting. Now, this cell activator, because it is made with heavy gloss gel, I've got some really crazy cells, but I don't know if they're going to hold up. So, this is going to be an experiment piece. And it should, fingers crossed, should dry clear. So we do get a thing in the Bloom technique called ghost cells, and that's what we call when you've got a black cell activator on top of a white cell activator, and the white cell activator forms a white ring inside the black cell. So this will be interesting to see if we create something similar. And this is what I was going for. This sort of looks like a sunset or a sun explosion, something like that. Just moving all the paint towards one edge of the coaster. And I did put some opal medium between the cell activator and the chameleon pigment. Just a little bit of that. And just across the top. So I'll put the sunset there. The stencil there, sorry. And we'll see how that looks. We're going to see how these dry. Definitely a different cell structure. So I wonder if it's going to actually give us cells, if they're going to stay there. But because they're going to dry clear, is there a point? Okay, so that's most likely part 1 of this video, and I'll show you part 2 where I apply the resin and the overhead transparencies. There was a lot of experimentation today, so using the opal dust medium from Jo Sonja. I actually really like how that turned out. I love that they're little transparent iridescent flakes, so they won't be as noticeable like a chunk of foil in the pour. And hopefully when they dry, you can see all that, and like I said, that medium will dry clear. So if you are interested in buying that, I got this from Eckersley's here in Australia. I'm sure Spotlight would sell it as well. You can probably get it from the Jo Sonja website or wherever they stock Jo Sonja products in your area. And yeah, so we'll let these dry, and I'll come back in about a week's time when I go to put the resin on and put the overhead transfers on. So until then, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.